Hello, in today's video I'll be answering a question I get a lot. Which spark plug should I buy? When you go buy spark plugs or even buying them online, you get many choices to choose from. These you see here are just a few of the possibilities. These first ones that you see here are your conventional copper and nickel spark plugs. They are your cheaper price basic spark plug, used more traditionally in older pre-90s cars, followed by our double platinum and platinum spark plugs, which were introduced in the mid-80s and are slightly more expensive than our copper nickel plugs, but do give you a longer lifespan. Now lastly we got our Iridium spark plugs, which were introduced in the mid-90s and are the most expensive spark plug, but can provide you the longest life. And here we got our spark plugs. This piece is responsible for igniting the air-fuel mixture, which all meets in an engine's combustion chamber. This spark plug provides a spark that ignites the mixture, and that sends the piston downward causing rotation, till the next cylinder ignites and that keeps the engine running. This metal tip is our spark plug's terminal, which our spark plug wire clicks into. Next we got our insulator. This piece is made out of ceramic, and this one in particular has a smooth insulator, which helps prevent electronic interference. And we also have the rib design, which also helps prevent flashover, which is arcing from the metal body of the spark plug to the terminal. This is our spark plug's metal housing, which also acts as the spark plug's ground and is also used to tighten and loosen the spark plug, which it also has a sealing surface which can either be tapered like this one or has a gasket which seals it to the surface. Here we got our spark plug threads, but inside of it has a center electrode which is connected to the terminal and in some cases through a ceramic resistor, with this electrode housed through an insulator which gives the spark plug its heat range based on its length. And next we got our electrode tip, which is determined by the type of spark plug it is. This particular spark plug is a double platinum, so it has a small platinum disc on it, which I hope you can see it. These double platinums and double iridiums were developed for wasted spark systems, like this cobalt, where one coil fires two cylinders at the same time. As you can see, this one coil fires cylinders 2 and 3, and the other cylinders 1 and 4. This is our spark plug's ground electrode, and the spark is created in between the central electrode and this ground, which can be adjusted to give us our spark plug gap. Let's take a closer look at these spark plugs that I have here. First we got our conventional AC Delco copper core spark plugs. These are usually best for older vehicles, but you'll be surprised that some of the high-performance engines use plugs just like these. Next we got these NGK copper core nickel tip spark plugs. These have a ceramic resistor which is used to suppress noise created when the spark plug fires, which these noises can mess with the vehicle's computer, radio, cell phone service, and more. These B&V powered spark plugs have a V notched into the tip. Not sure if you can see it good enough though. Next we got these NGK G-Power Platinum spark plugs. These run about $4 a plug. Platinum being a harder material allows them to put a thin tip and still get a long life out of them. Platinum also runs harder than copper, so this reduces deposits and fouling of the spark plug. These plugs are highly used in distributor-based systems. And this is our AC Delco double platinum plugs. I spoke about these earlier. Their double platinums and double iridiums work really well for wasted spark systems. They're meant to give you longer lifespans than their standard counterpart. These next spark plugs will give you the longest life, but will also cost you more. And these spark plugs are the AC Delco Iridium spark plugs. This plug here will run you about $8. They come pre-gapped from the factory and have a one-piece suppressor that blocks spark frequencies that can affect the vehicle's electronics. This next spark plug is the laser Iridium. This is the most expensive spark plug that I have here, and they run about $13 a piece locally. These are original equipment on many of the newer cars, and have a good combination of performance and durability. They have an iridium center electrode and a platinum pad on the ground electrode that works great in distributorless systems. And here we got another NGK Iridium spark plug, but this one is a little less expensive than the laser Iridium, with high durability and a reliable spark. These run about $9 locally. I'm going to be putting these spark plugs on the spark tester to see if we can notice the difference between them. But first we'll take a quick look at how a spark plug works. When you turn your key and you crank your car, this spark plug will ignite the air-fuel mixture and start your car. So to keep your car running, you want to make sure that you have a reliable spark. So this is what it looks like when your spark plug is firing. And as you go faster, the spark gets faster and faster until you let go of the throttle. This is a really worn out laser double platinum I removed from a Subaru Impreza, and it went above 100,000 miles before completely wearing down the tip, leaving us with a gap of over 0.080, and that car was really misfiring. This is a spark plug from an overfilled with oil Honda I did recently, and this one was really misfiring too. I want to see if I can notice any misfires with this tester. First, let's try the conventional copper and the NGK V-Power spark plug to see how they do. The first thing you'll notice is that the spark likes to fire from the sharpest point on the tip to the ground electrode. As you can see, it makes a pretty good electric fly swatter too. This looks pretty cool. The spark plug on the left looks like it doesn't fire down the middle though, but more on the inside edge, while the V-Power fires right down the middle. Next up, we'll try the old spark plug with our NGK Platinum spark plug and see what happens. Wow, that old spark plug is really having to create a long spark, since it has to travel that wide gap. And you'll notice it's sometimes catching on the side of the ground electrode, and that's probably how it would be misfiring if it were in the car. Let's try this oil foul spark plug next to see if we notice anything. So far I can't see anything abnormal about it, but in the car it was definitely causing a misfire. But then again, it was still trying to burn oil the whole time while it was in the car. We'll try the AC Delco Iridium with the NGK Laser Platinum. See if we notice anything different about them. The AC Delco Iridium actually looks like it has a darker spark. What do you guys think? Lastly, we'll try the Laser Iridium next to the NGK Iridium. It does look like the NGK Laser Iridium has a wider spark though. So in conclusion, if you wanted a performance plug that's replaced often, for say hitting the drag races, these will give you more power due to copper being more conductive than iridium and platinum. Or if you have an older pre-80s car, these copper plugs would be the best way to go, but they'll only last you anywhere between 10 to 30,000 miles. As far as these platinum plugs, I actually prefer these G-Power plugs over any other. They'll last about 60,000 miles, and even more on a nicely kept vehicle, and you won't need to spend so much on them. Lastly, we got our iridiums. They can last over 25% longer than platinums, but they can cost you that much more too. But if you got a vehicle with difficult plugs to replace, I would most likely go with iridiums. One thing to consider though, if your owner's manual recommends a specific plug, I would go with that, because they spend tons of money researching what works best on your vehicle. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please click that thumbs up button to support my video and my channel. And please subscribe if you haven't done so.